Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Today is April 1st, and what a first weekend of baseball. It is back, and we're in 2024. Lots to talk about. Let's do it. Hello, everybody. My name is Steven. This is the middle of the order 2024 version. Hello, and welcome to the start of the season. We're back, and thank God for that. What an amazing first 4 days of the season here. For some teams, maybe not as much, but from a baseball fan point of view, no bias for any team, it was a very enjoyable weekend. A lot of great games, a lot of great moments. It's just so much fun. I'm so happy to be sitting here talking about the baseball that was played over this weekend. We got a lot to go into. This is probably going to be a long episode because of how much stuff I want to talk about. There was some brawls, there was first hits, we got some hot players, some players who are cold, obviously, to start the year. We got 4 sweeps already, some big ones too. Oh my God, it was great. If you caught any of it, hopefully you caught a great game. There was a lot of great games this weekend. I mean, I was looking through, I'm like, okay, which one do I pick for game of the weekend? Like where am I going to go here? Because there was walk-offs, there was comebacks, there was blowout. Like, it was just so amazing to have baseball back. And, you know, it was a great start to the year. Like, this was a wonderful weekend of baseball. And hopefully this is just the start of what is going to be an amazing 2024 season. Yeah, I'm excited. Let's dive into it. Our first series recap of the year. Like I said, it's going to be a longer episode, so stick with me because there's a lot to go into and a lot of great things to talk about. But without further ado, let's get started with the first 2024 series recap. Welcome to opening day, and the first game of the season here is between the Angels and the Baltimore Orioles, besides the Seoul series, of course. Corbin Burnes looks great for Baltimore through 2 batters before Mike Trout crushes the first home run of the season. That puts the Angels ahead early, but sadly, they are the Angels, and that lead didn't even last an inning, as Baltimore scores 2 in the first from Santander and Westberg. Santander and Mullins both hit homers later in this game, and for the Angels, after that Trout home run, no other starter had a hit as Baltimore cruises to their first win on the year 11-3. The Rookie of the Year winner from last year, Gunnar Henderson, he starts this year off with a leadoff home run, the first of the year for him. Grayson Rodriguez, he shoved 6 innings, striking out 9. The game got out of hand in the 6th as Baltimore puts up 9 runs in the inning, including another home run from Anthony Santander. They take the game 13-4, and they're looking for the sweep here on Sunday, but it wouldn't start easy for them as Taylor Ward hit his second home run of the year in the first, and then after 2 innings, the Angels found themselves in the lead for more than 1 inning. No other run comes in to score from that point on as the Angels avoid the sweep with their first win of the year, beating Baltimore 4-1. Moving along now, we've got the Blue Jays and the Rays. The Rays looking to start their year off on the right way, and they would get a leadoff home run on opening day from Yandy Diaz. But those Blue Jays are also looking for a hot start, and they would battle in this game. They would tie it up on a George Springer dinger, which was later followed by a Kevin Biggio home run for the lead, and then a 450-foot blast to dead center from Vladimir Guerrero Jr., the longest home run on opening day. That led to a 5-run 6th inning as the Blue Jays continued their streak of winning on opening days. They beat the Rays 8-2. Game 2 here, another George Springer dinger to start the scoring in the 3rd, but the Rays would answer in a hurry as Brandon Lau crushes a grand slam in the Rays half of the 3rd inning. they take a 3-run lead and would only add from there as their score stays the same from the first game, just switching the winner. The Rays even up the series with the win 8-2. New year, same Randy as he launches his first home run of the year. That would increase a Tampa Bay lead to 2 in the 5th, but this game would have some fireworks here in the 7th as Jose Caballero would hit a soft ground ball to third base and would get thrown away, and as he advances to second and then third, he was gunned down by Springer but ended up in the arms of Giannis Cabrera, and after exchanging some words, Cabrera would push the head of Caballero, causing the benches to clear. It would settle. The Rays end up on top. They win this one 5-1. And here we go, the 4th game of the series. Yep, it's a 4-gamer. The Rays looking to take 3 of 4 here early. They would give up 2 runs in the first inning before getting 1 back, thanks to who else but Randy Arozarena, his 2nd of the year. Justin Turner would have quite the game, going 3 for 4 with 4 RBIs and 2 runs as he launches his first home run of the year, first as a Blue Jay, and that was also followed by Davis Schneider as he hits his first home run of the year. The Blue Jays poured on in this one, splitting the 4-game set versus Tampa Bay, winning it 9-2. Tigers and White Sox, and let me tell you, we got a nail-biter in this one. Tarek Skubal and Garrett Crochet were dealing in this one, both going 6 innings while striking out a combined 14. The difference in this one came in the 3rd inning with Andy Ibanez sac fly. We had a game here on opening day, that's for sure. The Tigers take this one 1-0. Now for game 2, we have more of a game, and I'm being serious this time. The Tigers jump to a 3-0 lead in the first, but Luis Robert Jr. goes yard for his first home run of the year to get the White Sox on the board for the first time this year. Then we got a special moment as Braden Shoemake hit his first MLB home run for his first MLB hit. That would tie the game up for the White Sox in the 3rd inning. They would get their first lead on the year as Luis Robert Jr. goes deep for the 2nd time today, but we weren't done as the Tigers would tie it up thanks to home runs from Mark Canha and Riley Green. That sent us to extras as Carson Kelly would single in a run for Detroit in the top of the 10th. Shelby Miller pitches 2 innings. He closes it out for the Tigers. That gets them the win in extras, 7-6. And in the final game here, Corey Lee gets things started for the White Sox as he hits his first home run of the year. But the Tigers would answer with 2 solo shots from Kerry Carpenter and Jake Rogers. But the White Sox wouldn't quit as Paul DeYoung would go gone for a solo shot to tie the game up. In the 9th inning, the Tigers would take the lead after Andy Ibanez single, and then it was up to Jason Foley to close out this game as the Tigers start their 2024 campaign with a sweep over the White Sox on the road, winning this one 3-2. Twins and Royals now. Welcome to 2024. Royce Lewis as he homers in the first inning to start the year for the Twins. Maikel Garcia homers for the Royals in the first inning to tie it up. And in the 3rd inning, Royce Lewis had to get hurt, rounding the bases and left the game. So as quickly as he arrived, he was quickly taken back away from us. The Twins do go on to win opening day here as they beat the Royals 4-1. A good pitcher's duel here in the 2nd game from Joe Ryan and Seth Lugo had us tied at 0 until MJ Melendez singled in the first run of the game. Buxton double though would tie it in the 8th, and the Twins would put a bow on this game by scoring 4 runs in the 9th as they get the win 5-1. They would look for the sweep on Sunday. The Twins would run into a problem, however, and his name is Brady Singer as he shoves, going 7 innings with 10 strikeouts. Meanwhile, the Royals took a hot start, and if you're wondering how hot, well, if you missed the first 3 innings of this game, it was already 10-0. And my MVP pick, Bobby Witt Jr., was a double away from the cycle in the 3rd inning. He was 3 for 3, a single, a triple, and a home run. Making up those 10 runs included home runs from Salvador Perez, Kyle Isbell, Maikel Garcia again, and of course, as mentioned, Bobby Witt Jr. Nelson Velasquez would homer later just for some insurance because you never know if 10 runs is safe enough. This last game was all Kansas City. The Royals avoid the sweep and win it 11-0. Guardians and A's now, and the Guardians have a chance for a great start to the season as they get 4 games here versus Oakland. Shane Bieber was very impressive for them as a 5-run 4th inning would help the Guardians, although they only needed 1 run to win this game. They get the opening day win 8-0. Jose Ramirez would get this game started with a 2-run shot for his first home run of the year. Meanwhile, J.D. Davis gets the first run for Oakland this year, launching his first home run, hoping to show what the Giants are missing out on, and he wanted to make such a good impact that he also homered again in this game. But despite his great game, Oakland falls short, losing again to Cleveland 6-4. And if you haven't gotten the memo yet, this series was a great way to make Cleveland look good, as they score runs in 6 of 9 innings here in the 3rd game. The only homer came off the bat of a notorious home run hitter, Steven Kwan, who is looking for a bounce back from last year. The Guardians get another win, 12-3, and the final game of this series, and Oakland jumped to an early 3-0 lead after the first 3 innings of this one. And what was more impressive was Paul Blackburn, who had Cleveland scoreless for 7 innings. He was in the game and he was shoving, but unfortunately, as soon as he was taken out, Cleveland attacked that Oakland bullpen and scored 3 runs in the 8th with Josh Naylor hitting the single that would tie the game. Oakland, though, would luckily find themselves in a bases-loaded situation in the 9th with nobody out. No way they would mess this up, right? A 4-pitch walk. Thank God, a bases-loaded walk to Abraham Toro walks it off for Oakland as they get their first win of the year and avoid the 4-game sweep from the hands of Cleveland 4-3. Now, Yankees and Astros, this is how you start off a season. 4 games between these two in all of the recent history. What a series this turned out to be. The Astros would jump out to an early lead with 3 runs in the first and then a Jake Meyers home run in the second for a 4-0 lead. But the Yankees have some fight with them as Soto delivers the first run of the year for the Yankees on a base hit, which also led to the bases loaded hit by pitch to Rizzo and then a walk to Volpe. So the Yankees were within 1 until the 6th inning, where Oswaldo Cabrera hit a solo shot to tie this game up. And then in the next inning, Verdugo gets the sac fly to get the Yankees the lead. Meanwhile, Houston can't do anything against the Yankees' pen. The Yankees get a needed first win on the year, beating the Astros 5-4. Alex Bregman, a contract year for him, an RBI single in the first was how we got started, and that's all that was happening early as Christian Javier was lights out. Of course, as soon as he gets taken out, here comes the Yankees with Oswaldo Cabrera singling in a run to tie the game. Soto walks to get them the lead, and then in the 8th inning, the Yankees add 4 more runs, and for the cherry on top, a Giancarlo Stanton bomb in the 9th inning. The Yankees get the win, 7-1. Another game, another Houston lead early, and once again, another Yankees comeback with the surprise hero of the series, Oswaldo Cabrera. The Yankees were down 2 entering the 7th, and Oswaldo Cabrera hits the game-tying 2-run shot for his second of the year, and then it was Soto's turn as he leaves the yard for the first time as a Yankee. That gave them the lead. Anthony Volpe homers in the 8th for some insurance as things go from bad to worse for the Astros as they lose their 3rd straight game, 5-3. Last game of the series here, and Altuve gets things going with the first home run of the year for him. Yankees score a run in both the 4th and 5th innings to take the lead, but the Astros were tied up in the 6th with 2 runs of their own, bringing us to the 9th inning, where who else but Soto delivers the go-ahead run on base. What a performance from Soto this series. Clay Holmes gets his 3rd save of the year already, and the New York Yankees come to Minute Maid Park for 4 games and sweep the Astros on their turf to start the season 4-0. They win it 4-3. Boogity boogity New York. Red Sox and Mariners now another 4-game set here, and we got it started with a Rafael Devers bomb for his first of the year. 2-run shot got Boston out early. Later on, the return of Mitch Haniger comes to full realization for Mariners fans as he crushes a 2-run shot and his first Mariners home run since he last played for them in 2022. A few runs later, we're in the 7th inning. The Mariners come within 1 run after a Dylan Moore home run, which brought us to the 8th, where Mr. Opening Day himself, Tyler O'Neill, hit his first home run of the year, his first as a Red Sox, and his 5th straight Opening Day home run, setting an MLB record as the Red Sox hold on and get the Opening Day win, 6-4. Pitching is the name of the game in the second game here, and George Kirby and Nick Pivetta are on it. They're pitching great in this one. The only run coming off the bat of J.P. Crawford for his first home run of the year. The Mariners even up the series with the victory, 1-0. Another game and another great pitching performance from Logan Gilbert and Cutter Crawford. We were treated to some nice pitching duels in this series. We would be tied 1-1 after 9 and in need of some extra innings. Boston would score 2 in the 10th and feel good entering the Mariners half. Unfortunately for them, they underestimated Seattle as Luke Raley and J.P. Crawford would help tie it up for them, which led to the man himself, Julio, as we would get a base hit and get his first career walk-off for the Mariners. They get the win 4-3 in extras. Last game, a couple of big blasts in this one for Boston. Tyler O'Neill, Emmanuel Valdez, that gets them the lead that they would not let go from as they end up splitting the 4-game set with the Mariners taking 2 each. Boston wins it 5-1. Now we have the Cubs and our defending world champion Texas Rangers. They got their year started versus the Cubs and had a very exciting first game, as every time they were losing, they would tie it up. Down 2-1, Adolis Garcia will hit his first home run of the year. Give up the go-ahead run in the top of the 9th on a controversial foul ball / pass ball situation. Travis Jankowski will hit his first home run of the year in the 9th to tie it up and send it to extras. Hold the Cubs from scoring. Have Jonah Heim hit the walk-off single for you for your first lead of the year and your first win. Texas takes it 4-3. Dansby Swanson gets his year started with a 2-run shot for an early Cubs lead, and that would be all for the Cubs, folks. Meanwhile, Jared Walsh, Adolis Garcia, and Josh Young all homer for the Rangers, as well as a 6-run 8th inning. That leads Texas to another win, 11-2. Christopher Morel gets the Cubs night started here with a 3-run home run in the first, and unlike the second game, the Cubs would be able to add and help hold the lead. Texas did tie it though on a triple from Wyatt Langford, but in the 9th, Seiya Suzuki hit a 2-run single to extend the Cubs lead as they score 4 runs in the inning. That takes the Cubs to their first win of the year. They avoid the sweep and beat Texas 9-5. Braves and Phillies now. Good thing that this series wasn't a 4-game set because they got rained out on opening day, so Friday was their opening day. And after 4 great innings from both Zach Wheeler and Spencer Strider, one of these pitchers got beat, and it was Strider as Brandon Marsh connects for his first home run of the year. A 2-run shot that got Philly in front. But let me tell you, a key thing going forward should be that you'll need more than 2 runs if you want to beat the Braves. As Adam Duvall, he gets a 2-run double in the 7th to tie the game up, and then from there, the Braves open it up 7 runs in the 8th inning, including a bases-clearing double from Matt Olson for his 3rd double of the game. The Braves get the win 9-3. Game 2, Ozzie Albies, Matt Olson, Marcelo Zuna, Michael Harris II, all homer for the Braves. The Braves offense is already on display, and we're only in Game 2 of 162 this year. They win this one 12-4. Ozzy Albies, how about another home run here in the series finale? The Braves are off and going early, and then we get our first leadoff Kyle Schwarber of the year. That gets the Phillies going. Jumping to the 7th now, down 1, the Phillies would tie it up on a Trey Turner single and then take the lead on an Alec Boehm 2-run single. The Phillies avoid the sweep with the win over Atlanta as they beat them 5-4. Brewers and Mets, same story as the Braves and Phillies here as rain pushes their opening day back a day to Friday, and I don't think anybody was ready for what unfolded in this series here. On the baseball side, it was a pretty normal game. Starring Marte, homers for the Mets. It was their only hit of the game. Meanwhile, Christian Yelich, he ties it with his first home run of the year, and Jackson Chourio, his first RBI and hit. The Brewers take a 3-1 lead into the late stages of this game, and in the 8th inning is where all the drama unfolded, as a late slide from Hoskins into second caused a very unhappy Jeff McNeil. That causes the benches to clear. Later on, you see Hoskins on the bench making gestures of a crybaby at Jeff McNeil. Regardless of all that, the Brewers held on and took the win 3-1. And if you thought all of that would be behind us, you'd be wrong. Rhys Hoskins was greeted the next day by the boos of the Mets faithful to start his afternoon. He crushes a ball down the line. That drives in 2 runs and makes it a 3-run inning in the first for the Brewers. His very next at-bat was even better as he crushes a ball high and deep out of Citi Field, a 2-run shot. The Mets were close in this game as they hit home runs from Francisco Alvarez, Brett Beatty, and Pete Alonso. But anyways, back to Hoskins in the 7th inning. Yohan Ramirez throws behind the back of Rhys Hoskins, causing more troubles. Ramirez gets ejected. Hoskins gets a revenge game, 3 for 4 with 4 RBIs and 2 runs, including his first Brewers home run. What a game. They get the win 7-6. And in the final game, no drama. The Brewers slowly eat away at the Mets. 4 different players drive in a run. Meanwhile, the Mets are struggling to plate more than a run. They get swept at home by the Brewers, who start the season hot, winning it 4-1. Pirates and Marlins. The season starts off for these two, and it seems like Miami has the advantage, leading by 3 at the halfway point in this one. The Pirates get home runs from Brian Reynolds, Edward Olivares, and O'Neal Cruz to tie the game up. That sends us to extras, where after a few innings of nothing, the Pirates took the lead in the 12th on a Jared Triolo single. They would continue to hold the Finns as the Buccos battle back in this one. Very impressive first win on the year, 6-5. This next game was all Pirates early as they got to AJ Puk for 4 runs in the first 2 innings, while Josh Fleming in the back of that Pirates bullpen, he goes 3 innings holding the Marlins to only that 1 run late. The Pirates take another game, 7-2. Game 3 here, part of the 4-game set. It's another close game between these two that has the Pirates up by 2 after 6 innings. Unfortunately for the Marlins, the 7th inning, the Pirates find a way to add and add as 4 more runs come across to score, turning the 2-run lead into a 6-run lead that they can't break into as the Marlins lose a 3rd straight game to the Pirates, 9-3. Looking to avoid that 4-game sweep, the Marlins jump out quick, scoring 5 runs in the first inning thanks to a Jazz Chisholm grand slam. The Pirates, they are not going away. They score 3 runs in the second and 1 in 4th to make it a 1-run game. Avisail Garcia hits a solo shot for some insurance for the Marlins, but it wasn't enough because the Pirates had to get rowdy. A big changing go-ahead 3-run home run from Rowdy Tellez. That gets the Pirates the lead here late. Luckily, the Marlins had Nick Gordon, who kept them alive in the 9th. A game-tying home run sends us to extras for the 2nd time this series Unfortunately for the Marlins, the Pirates scored 2 runs in the 10th, and they failed to touch Stratton. The Pirates come on the road to Miami and get a very impressive and earned 4-game sweep over the Marlins. They win it 9-7. Wow, and we've got some more excitement in this series here between the Reds and the Nationals as Nick Martini introduces himself to 2024 with a 2-home run game as he drives in 5 runs and leads the Reds to an opening day win 8-2 over the Nationals. Game 2, it's Yeimer Candelario, his first home run as a Red. Luke Maile joins him for home runs, 1 for the year for both of those guys. They would lead until the 8th, where Keibert Ruiz hits his first home run of the year to tie the game up for the Nationals. The Reds were not bothered because they had Nick Martini, who hit a go-ahead 2-run double to get the Reds back in the lead entering the 9th inning. But the Nats seem different this year with more fight as a Jesse Winker base hit, Keibert Ruiz bases loaded, hit by a pitch, and then an Eddie Rosario sac fly that drives in 3 runs the Nats needed to get the comeback win. They hold the Reds in their half of the game. That secures the first win of 2024 for the Nationals, 7-6. And in the final game, it's CJ Abrams and Trey Lipscomb both hitting their first home runs of the year for the Nationals as they had a 2-run lead entering the 9th inning, but we would have some Reds magic as they were down to their final out before Will Benson hit the game-tying 2-run home run on the first pitch of his at-bat, and then 2 pitches later, it's CES Christian Encarnacion Strand launching the walk-off home run as the Reds answer the Nationals' comeback with one of their own, getting the series win over them in walk-off fashion, 6-5. Cardinals and Dodgers now. We had the stars shining in this one, a 4-game series. It's Mookie Betts, it's Freddie Freeman, both homering for the Dodgers. Meanwhile, Paul Goldschmidt homers for the only Cardinals run in this one. The Dodgers' star power shines over them. They get the win, 7-1. Game 2, it's Mookie Betts again going yard, as he was joined by Teoscar Hernandez, who hit 2 home runs in this game, as well as Miguel Rojas, as the Dodgers keep coming at the Redbirds. They get the win, 6-3. The Cardinals' luck turns around in Game 3 as they had a 2-run lead entering the 9th inning. The Dodgers, with their final 3 outs to play, enter Mookie Betts as he's done it again. His 4th home run already in the year, homering in 4 of the Dodgers' first 5 games. The single then by Max Muncy ties it, and we are heading to extras, where the Cardinals score in the 10th and hold the Dodgers for a very close but win, their first of 2024 in extras, 6-5. And we had quite the game to end the weekend as this was the last game played on Sunday. The Cardinals jumped to a 4-run lead before the Dodgers started scoring, but they were scoring in 2s as 2 runs score in the 6th inning to cut the lead in half, and then in the 8th it was Teoscar Hernandez hitting his 3rd home run of the series to make it a 1-run game. And a few batters later, with a runner on, it's Max Muncy. He crushes the go-ahead 2-run home run to bring the Dodgers in front as they score 5 unanswered and get the come-from-behind win over the Cardinals, taking 3 of 4 from them as they win it 5-4. Giants and Padres, another fun 4-game series as we had a back-and-forth game here, bringing us into the 7th inning where the Padres plated 4 runs thanks to a 2-run double from Jake Cronenworth. Michael Conforto would hit a homer late for the Giants trying to spark something, but they end up falling short. The Padres get the win to open up the series 6-4. And I'm sure the Giants are happy they signed Matt Chapman because he was 100% the difference in this game, hitting 2 home runs and a double with 5 RBIs. The Padres' 3 runs in this one came from solo shots from their stars, as Manny Machado goes deep, and for Fernando Tatis Jr. hits 2 home runs in the game as well. But the Giants still walk away with their first win on the year. They take it 8-3. Welcome to MLB Baseball, Mr. Jung-Ho Lee, as he connects for his first Major League home run. And then later in this game, it's Michael Conforto hitting his second home run of the year. A grand slam that gives the Giants an 8-run lead. And despite that lead, the Padres almost came back as a 2-run shot from Aguirre Rosario and a 3-run shot from Graham Pauley, who got his first big league hit and first big league home run in that 9th inning. They took that 8-run lead and turned it into a 3-run game. Impressive from the Padres, but the Giants do hold on though. They get the win 9-6. And this final game was all San Diego here, as they were up 12-0 after 3 innings. Luis Campusano and Ha-Seong Kim both homered to help create that 12-run deficit. The Padres and Giants split the 4-game set here. The Padres taking that last game 13-4. And we've reached the end here. The Rockies and the Diamondbacks, the last series to get through. And I wonder if the Rockies will be a fun team here and possibly play spoiler role in that NL West battle. Blaze Alexander, he gets his first Major League hit here in the 3rd inning and extends the D-backs lead to 15 as the as to 15? Are we kidding me? The Diamondbacks come for the throats of the Rockies. Pause. A 14-run inning in the 3rd. It was basically murder versus the Rockies. The Diamondbacks show they are no joke, and a powerful blowout win versus Colorado on opening day, 16-1. More D-back power here in Game 2 as Lourdes Gurriel Jr., Christian Walker, and Alek Thomas all homer for Arizona. They get the easy win versus Colorado, 7-3. Finally, in Game 3, some fight from Colorado as Ezequiel Tovar goes deep to tie the game up in the 2nd, and then a 5-run inning in the 5th gives Colorado their first lead of the year. Up by 4 late, for some good measure, Brenton Doyle goes yard. The Rockies get their first win of the year, 9-4. In that final game, it's another Christian Walker home run and another great day at the plate from Lourdes Gurriel Jr. What a series he had. That helps the D-backs win one more as they start the season hot, taking 3 of 4 from Colorado as they win it 5-1. Good God, that was a lot of baseball to recap. 30 minutes of that music. I might have to change it up because it's probably annoying towards the end here, but God, what a great opening day week. There was so much to talk about. This one's gonna be a long episode regardless, but we're already at the 30-minute mark, and that's how long most of the episodes have been recently, and we're only on the series recap. Wow. All right, game of the weekend here. Like I said, so many great games, so many walk-offs, blowouts, close nail-biters, extra innings, yada yada yada. We gotta talk, though, about this Diamondbacks game. What happened, Colorado? 16-1? 14 runs in the 3rd. Opening day is here. It's Zach Gallen. It's Kyle Freeland. And a start for Arizona that they needed. Bottom of the 1st. Ketel Marte's on base. Lourdes Gurriel Jr. hits home run number 1. I'm so glad they brought him back for Arizona. He fits the culture really well there. 2-0 Arizona. Top second, the Rockies get a run back here. Good for them. Ryan McMahon, he doubles in a run off of Zach Allen. It's 2-1. And then in the bottom of the 3rd, here comes everything from Arizona. Lourdes Gurriel Jr., he singles in a run. That makes it 3-1. Christian Walker then doubles in 2, making it 5-1. Gabriel Moreno, he singles in a run, making it 6-1. Eugenio Suarez, he singles in a run, making it 7-1. Alek Thomas, he'll double. That makes it 8-1. Then Geraldo Perdomo, he singles. That's another run. It's 9-1. Ketel Marte singles. It's 10-1. Lourdes Gurriel Jr. singles. It's 12-1. Gabriel Moreno double. It's 14-1. Eugenio Suarez sac fly. It's 15-1. And And then Blaze Alexander gets his first MLB hit, a single that makes it 16-1. And that was all the scoring. After the 3 innings, it was just pitching. No other runs scored. Wow. 14 runs in the 3rd inning. Kyle Freeland goes 2 1/3, giving up 10 runs on 10 hits, a walk and 2 strikeouts. And then Anthony Molina comes in. He gets 1 out and gives up 6 runs on 6 hits. And that's a tough one. Zach Gallen on the other end, 5 innings pitched, 3 hits, a run, 2 walks, and 3 Ks. So, yeah, that's your game of the weekend. The blowout by Arizona, very impressive, 14 runs in an inning. All right, let's try to dig in fast here into some of this news and everything else to try to keep this hopefully within an hour at this rate. Let's start with the bench clearings because that's the big stuff here. We'll go with the Blue Jays and the Rays game first because that one's a little less, to chat about here. It was just a really aggressive overreaction from Yannis Cabrera. That's what I got from the brawl. I don't know why Caballero was so upset because what happened was he was tagged out by Bo from the throw from Springer. Bo tags him. He takes a few other steps. Cabrera's there, ends up in the arms of Cabrera, and then gets in the face of him. After, 2 to 3 seconds, Cabrera then just pushes his glove in the face. His head goes almost a full 90 degrees. His helmet comes off. That causes the benches to clear. The inning was over by tagging out Caballero. The inning ended, so, Cabrera was thrown out of the game, but he was probably going to get taken out anyways because the inning was over. So, not much there. He is suspended for 3 games, but he is appealing, so he is still with the team until the appeal is finalized. But not much else to mention on that aspect. I want to talk about the Brewers and the Mets here. Rhys Hoskins was a Philly. He played the Mets plenty of times. He was already a villain in Citi Field. And now with the Brewers, he seems to be even more of a villain. Let's start from the first game on Friday. This late slide, 8th inning. The slide was late. If I'm being honest, based on the rules and based off of how I watched the game and everything, the Rhys Hoskins slide into McNeil was late. Did McNeil have to get up all in the face of Rhys? No. There's no need for that. You don't need to escalate anything because that's all Jeff McNeil was doing. Look, it was the 8th inning of the first day, and the Mets had 1 hit. He was probably just upset overall. And that's what Rhys said as well in his after-the-game interview, said that, hey, when things aren't going right, he seems to be the guy who likes to talk the most. Is that right? Is that wrong? No comment there. But there was no need to get up in the face of Hoskins to just say, hey, it's late slide, you don't need to be doing all that, and let him walk back. Hoskins sitting in the bench, doing the whole crybaby gesture. Things were hot. It's escalated at the time. Sure, why not? But, also just unnecessary stuff, right? So all we have so far here is a late slide and a bunch of just immature whatevers. We head to game 2. Whatever happened, comments and everything, Rhys Hoskins goes off. An amazing game. Star of the week for that performance. A home run, the double after getting booed. Not the double, the single that drove in 2 after getting booed. He became the villain. My problem with this all comes from Yohan Ramirez. If this is your first episode that you're listening to, you don't know this about me, I do not like it when pitchers are intentionally throwing at the hitters. Was it intentional? Probably. At the end of the day, when it's behind the back or at the head and it's a fastball or a sinker or something, you have to assume that it's an intentional, especially based off of the events. My problem is, I get and I understand that it's part of the game. If you're going to do it, though, why wouldn't you have done it in, the first inning or, later on? Instead, you wait for what you think was his last at-bat. You do it. It was just super unnecessary. Rhys Hoskins played it off perfectly. He just stood there. He, obviously understanding the situation, but not escalating it. Bench is kind of clear-ish. He takes his base. That's kind of what, is supposed to happen. Rhys Hoskins definitely in my mind, is in the right in the second game, in the situation as a whole. He comes out upset, whatever's driving him to play well, hits his first home run as a Brewer. And then obviously the throne behind him. Yohan Ramirez, he was suspended 3 games, but like Cabrera, he's appealing his, so he is still with the team. And then new manager, Carlos Mendoza, he got suspended for a game. He's already served that suspension, and I think Sunday's game. That would make sense because this game would have been Saturday. So he served it on Sunday. John Gibbons managed that game. But yeah, dumb situation from Johan's point of view. Obviously, I get the aspect of defending a teammate, but I never like throwing at a hitter. It's just weak. Like, you do it by winning a game. The Mets got swept. If you really want to show Hoskins, you should have won a game. Instead, you guys get swept at home to start the season. Not a good look by the Mets. Not a good look from Ramirez. Hoskins, besides the slide, like I said, the slide it's a hit or miss slide, but it was a little bit late. Overall, Rhys Hoskins is the hero in the situation. In my mind, Yohan Ramirez, good for defending your team, but also defend it in a different way. Defend it by striking him out. That's how you get at him. You don't throw at his back. But yeah, that's what I want to say on that. All right, now, just because opening day is here and has happened, doesn't mean we have a few last off-season moves to talk about here. Prediction episode came out on Monday. That gave 3 days for any other news to happen, and we did have a couple of signings and a couple of extensions to talk about really quickly. I'm not going to go into stats or do anything crazy, just going to quickly mention them. First of all, the Rockies are extending Ezekiel Tovar, the shortstop that hit a home run in the Rockies win. A 7-year deal, $63.5 million, potential shortstop of the future right now for Colorado. He had a great year last year, and of course, with that home run, is off to a nice start this year. The Marlins and Yankees make a trade. The speedster, John Birdie, is heading to New York for the prospect John Cruz. Of course, Birdie has already made an impact with New York. He had a hit that drove in a run in one of the games against Houston. So good for the Yankees, get some speed depth there. And then John Cruz, outfielder prospect, you never know. Will Smith, the Dodgers' Will Smith, he gets a nice extension from the Dodgers, the catcher of the future for them. 10 years worth $140 million, one of the largest contracts as a catcher, joining the likes of Buster Posey and Joe Mauer. So great for Will Smith. He deserves it. He's going to have a great year. So good for him. Tony Kemp, he signs a deal with the Baltimore Orioles, a 1-year, $1 million deal. Nothing really to mention here. He's already played the game with the team. He's already been on Baltimore, so he'll find a spot there, probably some depth, bench bat, a little lefty there, so good for Kemp. And then the big signing, of course, Jordan Montgomery. He was the last of the Scott Boras clients who had an awful offseason. Matt Chapman, Snell, Bellinger, Montgomery, I think he screwed up all of the contracts. But Jordan Montgomery, on the last day of the offseason, the second last day before opening day, he signs with the Arizona Diamondbacks, a 1-year, $25 million deal. Arizona, this is great. A healthy rotation has Zach Gallen, Merrill Kelly, Eduardo Rodriguez, Jordan Montgomery, and Brandon Pfaadt. That is an elite rotation in my mind. Brandon Pfaadt, young, only getting better. Zach Gallen, the ace. Montgomery led the Rangers to a chip. Eduardo Rodriguez was a great pitcher and an ace on Boston Red Sox teams and Detroit Tigers. So, that rotation looks great. The Diamondbacks looked great through 4 games here. Just a great move there. And those are all the extensions, trades, and signings that has happened. And hopefully we don't have to mention any more of that until after the 2024 season. All right, now let's talk and do a little bit of a hot and cold here. Of course, only a 3 to 6 game span here, but let's talk about some of these players who started off the years hot and cold, of course. Looking at those hot players, Mookie Betts right now, the hottest player in baseball, 500 average, 4 home runs in the Dodgers' first 5 games. Of course, that includes, the games in the Seoul series. Dodgers and Padres have had those 2 extra games, so their numbers are a little bit more boosted, but still, Betts, 4 home runs, 10 RBIs, 7 walks, a 1.757 OPS. Great for him. Lourdes Gurriel Jr. had a fantastic start to the season in those 4 games versus the Rockies. A 461 average, 3 home runs, 10 RBIs, a 1.644 OPS. Bobby Witt Jr., my MVP. Hopefully this isn't the first and only time he'll be on the hot list here. A 545 average, a home run, a triple, couple RBIs, a 1.888 OPS. Second in OPS, I believe. Juan Soto, what a series start for the Yankees. I'm sure the Yankee fans are super thrilled to have Soto on the team. A 529 average, a home run, 4 RBIs, a 1.365 OPS. He had a nice throw in one of the games. He's been a clutch factor already. Great start to the year for him. And then, of course, Nick Martini with the Reds. He's gotten off to an incredible start. The 2-homer day in the first day. The 2-run double that gave them the lead in the game that they did eventually lose. But a 500 average for him, 2 home runs, 7 RBIs, 0 strikeouts, and a 1.931 OPS, currently leading the league in OPS. Flipping the script to the cold side here, Anthony Rendon, of course, the guy who loves baseball the most, is unfortunately doing the worst. 0 for 11, 13 strikeouts. 3 strikeouts. 0 for 11 with 13 strikeouts would be crazy. Harold Ramirez from your Rays finishes 1 for 17 with 3 strikeouts. Chris Bryant from your Rockies, 0 for 10 with 7 Ks. Jorge Polanco didn't get a great start to the year with the Mariners. He was 1 for 14 with 7 Ks. And then Joey Gallo's start to the Nationals career didn't go as well. 0 for 12 with 6 strikeouts. Of course, these are hot players and cold players, but we also have some hot teams. 4 undefeated teams here after the first weekend. The Brewers swept the Mets. The Yankees, the 4-game sweep over the Astros, the Tigers, the 3-game sweep over the White Sox, and the Pirates, the 4-game sweep over the Marlins. Super impressive from the Pirates here. Which of these teams is going to be the last to lose a game here? And of course, the 4 teams they swept, they're winless. White Sox, Astros, Marlins, and Mets. One of these teams here is not like the others. The Astros losing 4 to the Yankees is crazy. And another thing to note, all these, sweeps and undefeated and winless teams here, they're all the away teams. The Brewers, Yankees, Tigers, and Pirates were all on the road. So we had 4 sweeps at home, 2 of which were 4-game sweeps. And I don't know which one was more impressive, the Yankees and the Astros or the Pirates and Mets, because the Yankees kept coming back in game after game. But the Pirates were very impressive. Excuse me. Either way, I expect the Astros and the Marlins to kind of both right themselves, hopefully sooner than later. But, for these teams, a great start. The Brewers, I might owe an apology to at some point this year, depending on how good they are. A great start. The pitching, I said, would be the biggest problem. So far, looked very good. Yes, it was the Mets, but still, to hold a team to only 1 hit on opening day, pretty impressive stuff here. The kids are going to be something special. I might have put the Brewers in a bad light very early here, but we'll see kind of what comes from that. And of course, to talk about, to finish off the hot and cold here and to just talk about players, congratulations to all the rookies who made their first MLB games, who got their first MLB hits. I don't have everybody because it was hard to find everybody, but a couple guys here, of course. The more obvious guys, Wyatt Langford, Blaze Alexander from the Diamondbacks, Colt Keith, my pick for Rookie of the Year AL, Jung Ho Lee, my pick for Rookie of the Year NL, Jackson Chourio, and of course Graham Pauley and Braden Shoemake, who their first hits were also their first home runs. So congrats to all those guys, as well as any other rookies who got their first MLB hits over the weekend. moving on here now, we've got the sad part of the episode, a couple of injuries, because it wouldn't be baseball if players weren't getting hurt. Royce Lewis, that's the big one, man. He's on the IL. He has the quad injury. He left opening day. He was 2 for 2. He had the home run. It was a great start to the season. This guy, like I said, if him and Buxton are healthy, they're so good, but they're both made of glass, man. Hopefully Lewis is back with the Twins shortly, because we deserve to see Royce Lewis for a long period of time. I don't know what the longest period of time is that he's been healthy. Like what, 20 games? Not even? Like I want to do a look on that actually. Not the only one though. Justin Steele, he's been placed on the IL with a left hamstring. He left opening day. He made a play running off the mound, flipped to first, landed in his, fell to the ground holding his calf and his hamstring, and he's gonna be on the IL for a little bit here. Going back to the Twins here, Anthony DeSclafani, he underwent a flexor tendon surgery, and he is expected to miss all of 2024. That's pretty crazy to me, actually, because he was on the Giants, got traded to the Mariners, and the Mariners shipped him off to the Twins. So he got traded twice in the offseason, and now he's going to be missing all of 2024, and he's a free agent after this year. So, all the best for DeSclafani, but that's not a good look to, be injured and traded a lot, and all of a sudden you're in free agency. But of course, pitching's important. I'm sure he'll find somewhere to land. Matt McClain, this is a big one. He had a left shoulder surgery. He has no timetable for his return right now, but the Reds are hoping for at some point this season he will be back. Obviously, a rookie that they would love to have back, or a rookie last year and would be his sophomore season, but he's going to spend a lot of that time on the IL here for sure. And the Braves, they have a great team and everything, but Sean Murphy, their starting catcher, they're going to be without him for a little bit. He's on the IL with an oblique strain. No timetable for his return, but it shouldn't be as long as Matt McClain and others, so we'll have to see. But those are the injuries that occurred during this opening day weekend and before in spring training even. So hopefully these guys are healthy real soon. All right, and lastly here, outstanding performances to go over. We had some good starting pitching performances during opening day weekend here. Corbin Burns, his debut with Baltimore, 6 innings pitched, 1 hit, 1 run, no walks, and 11 strikeouts. Yes, it was the Angels. Still impressive. Shane Bieber, 6 innings pitched, 4 hits, no runs, 1 walk, 11 Ks. Yes, it was Oakland. Still impressive. Paul Blackburn, very impressive from someone from Oakland. 7 innings pitched, 3 hits, no earned runs, 1 walk, 3 Ks. Freddie Peralta, 6 innings pitched, 1 hit, 1 earned run, 1 walk, and 8 Ks. That was opening day versus the Mets. That only 1 hit and 1 run was from that Marte home run. Very impressive from Peralta. He's going to have to be a dog for the Brewers. Nick Pivetta with your Red Sox, 6 innings pitched, 3 hits, 1 run, no walks, 10 Ks. A great start from him. George Kirby with the Mariners, a bunch of pitching duels in that series, 6 2/3 innings pitched, 2 hits, no runs, 2 walks, 8 strikeouts. Very good there. Bobby Miller with your Dodgers, 6 innings pitched, 2 hits, no runs, 1 walk, 11 strikeouts. Very good for Bobby Miller to have a good year here. And of course, my guy, Brady Singer. I love this guy, man. Hopefully he has an amazing year. 7 innings pitched, 3 hits, no runs, 1 walk, 10 Ks. You'll love to see that for Singer against the Twins. Hopefully he's going to be a star pitcher there for Kansas City and help them, have some fun this year. 20 guys have home runs, or have more than 2 home runs already, or more than a home run. Mookie Betts, 4 on the year. Lourdes Gurriel and Teoscar Hernandez both with 3. Ozzie Albies with 2. Randy with 2. All the rest of these guys here with 2. Oswaldo Cabrera, Matt Chapman, Michael Conforto, J.D. Davis, Miguel Garcia, Dolis Garcia, Manny Machado, Nick Martini, Tyler O'Neill, Luis Robert Jr., Anthony Santander, George Springer, Fernando Tatis Jr., Christian Walker, and Taylor Ward. So all of these guys getting 2 or more home runs in the series here. Of course, not including the Padres and Dodgers, who have had 2 extra games, but still, Mookie Betts 3 home runs in his series, Tatis 2 home runs in his series. So very impressive stuff and very outstanding to open up the year. All right, see, we got it within an hour here. A crazy first episode here, of course. Upcoming series this first week of baseball, the first week, weekdays here, I guess, from Monday to Friday. We've got Kansas City taking on Baltimore, KC against the O's, Rangers at Rays, Braves at White Sox, Blue Jays at Astros, Red Sox at A's, Guardians at Mariners, Angels at Marlins, Tigers at Mets, Pirates at Nationals, Reds at Phillies, Twins at Brewers, Rockies at Cubs, Cardinals at Padres, Giants at Dodgers, and the Yankees at the Diamondbacks. Hopefully a great week of baseball. Hopefully a great season of baseball as we continue here. And hopefully not as many long episodes like this, and hopefully not as many a long series recaps. Hopefully I can shrink that down. Maybe I'll split the series recap going forward, do like an AL, talk about the AL, and then do an NL, talk about the NL. Let me know in the comments if you're on YouTube here. It helps me out. Welcome to 2024, guys. This is going to wrap up the first episode here. Thank you, everybody, so much for listening. Definitely on the longer side, but of course, baseball is back. I got to get back into the routine of how I do these episodes because I've been doing so many off-season episodes. I'm really happy here. We made a full year of the podcast, give or take. I started kind of, end of March last year, and we've made it through a full season. We've made it through a full off-season, and here we are in the second season. I'm, feeling a lot more confident with how I'm going about these episodes here. I'm pretty happy with the work that I've put in this year, and hopefully we have another great year here. And any support, if you're new here, if you missed the first season and this is the first episode you're listening, if you like it, do me a favor, subscribe, follow the podcast. Links in description if you're on YouTube, Buzzsprout, however you listen to your podcast, means a lot to me. But let's not dabble and get all into this. Thank you, everybody, so much, and I will see you on Friday.